All of those thousands of people here in town for the big game spent quite a bit of money while they were in Arizona.
And we spoke to a lot of fans and we asked them that sometimes sensitive question. How much money did you spend?
How much you paid for your tickets?
How much? $5,200.
That budget was blown. 50 grand was the budget, but it's blown.
For one person or for how many people?
Three. Yeah.
Yeah, so how
50,
much?
that was 50, not 15, 50,000.
50 divided by 3. So how much of an impact did the game and those dollars have on our economy?
And Morgan Lowe's in the studio tonight. After looking through the numbers, we have seen some pretty big figures thrown around, including like $1 billion economic impact. What did you find, Morgan?
I've seen those same numbers, and there's no mistaking this bowl game did bring a lot of money to town. That's undeniable. But was the big game an economic game changer? The numbers say probably not. So many parties. So many people. So much excitement surrounding the Super Bowl.
I'm just wondering how much you spent to visit our fine state. About $10,000 for the game ticket, my stay, car rental, everything.
Different organizations have estimated the economic impact of the game on Arizona in the hundreds of millions of dollars.
The Super Bowl is the biggest sports event in the US calendar. For 7 to 10 days, we're going to be inundated with TV celebrities, Hollywood superstars, people from music.
Anthony Evans is a senior research fellow at the Seidman Research Institute. He's collecting the numbers and says they are going to be big.
You're talking about car tax, gas tax, the hotel bedroom tax, and obviously the transition privilege tax or sales tax.
To get a sense for how this year's numbers might look, we studied state sales tax figures from the last time Arizona hosted a Super Bowl, 2015. The months of January and February of 2015 did see big increases in sales tax revenue over the prior year. But we also saw big increases in those months every year after that, up to 2020 when the pandemic started.
You know, the Super Bowl is a big deal on TV and it's a big deal for football fans. For an economy, not so much.
Neil DeMoss runs the website Field of Schemes, where he routinely criticizes inflated claims of the impact of pro sports on local economies.
It's probably in the low tens of millions of dollars rather than the hundreds of millions of dollars. And there's awfully good data to support that.
What am I missing if I'm just looking at that state sales tax revenue?
This is a 4 or 5 day event out of a 365-day year. As I said, for 9 months of the year, this is a great place to visit. So it's not going to show up as much as it might do if you were in a cold state whereby you've got to have the roof closed to actually host Super Bowl this weekend.
In 2019, before the pandemic, 47 million people visited Arizona and spent at least one night in a hotel. This time of year, the weather, the WM Phoenix Open, spring training, and the great outdoors account for so much revenue, they dwarf something as super as the Super Bowl.
You might get a little bump, but nothing anywhere close to the scale of what the claims are.
There are some real intangible benefits from hosting the Super Bowl. It was an amazing opportunity to show off our great weather and scenery, and you can't see that in a sales tax receipt.
All right, 113 million people watched the Super Bowl last night, so a lot of eyeballs on our state. Morgan, thanks for that.
Great commercial.